why don't you tell me, Dr. Lupo, why M Tash started saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm Dr. Lupo, I know how to snipe."
So over the course of your life, you'll meet a number of people who encompass the word jealousy to a T. Okay. M-Tashed is a perfect example of this. Many moons ago, I happened to be playing solos in Fortnite, and I landed at Greasy Grove. Everyone knows Greasy for their delicious Durburger restaurant.
Oh, yes.
But I have come to have a deep-seated love for Greasy Grove because this is where I spotted my friend M-Tashed. I didn't know at the time, obviously, because you can't see the names until afterwards.
Right.
But we ran into each other, and he was running away from me. I believe I was on top of the one-story building just to the east, Bass Pro in the middle of Greasy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He was running. I sniped him in the back, and I knew it was him because I could see the trail of tears and I could smell his fear as he ran from me. But I sniped him in the back, and immediately I was like, "Oh, it's a Dash, cool." Immediately, people from his stream came over with a clip.
Oh,
a clip you may have heard a bit of on stream if you listen to the resub alerts.
Right.
Oh, look at me. My name is Dr. Lupo. I know how to snipe. And that, along with, he references my obvious headset to audio crutch. Don't ask me what that means. Right. Ask him. He talks about my Zim 4 hacking device. And then, honestly, it feels like it was pre-recorded, written. It was planned, however you want to call it.
Right.
It was, scripted, we'll say. Because he gets back to the lobby and it says that he's been disconnected from the host, and his immediate reaction is, and now he's DDoSing me. And that clip, his super fake reaction to all of it is seriously, M-Tash is one of the funniest people I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's lost on the internet because he doesn't get the exposure that he deserves. Yeah. Seriously. He makes me laugh every time I post.
Dude, the level of sarcasm he can put out and it's almost like a dry sense of humor way. It's hilarious.
And actually, so that clip become such a thing. So Tyler will, every time we're playing together, he'll just do like the fake Canadian, like over the top accent. Oh, look at me. My name is Dr. Lupo. I know how to snipe. It's a shirt now.
Yep.
And
you sell
every time I post, dude. Yeah, every time I post this, there's been like links for the shirt, like pictures, whatever. Mike will reply and be like, "Hey, where's my cut of the profit, dude? Where's my cut? What about me?" I'm like, Mike, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Sorry about that, but
yeah, I mean, you had to get the snipe for it to be a thing. Mike, exactly. He just happened to be there. So how did Tyler hear about it? How did Ninja hear about it? He just caught it.
Tyler watches my stream every once in a while when he has time. He's super busy, but he'll be in chat and he'll laugh at the stupid stuff. And one night I was playing with Tim the Tatman, and Tyler. This was recent, so it was like Tyler's been watching for a while, but this was recent. He was watching, and we jumped in. And he played like the first game of Fortnite he's played off stream in probably like 6 months. He and I played together for a little bit, and he told me that he was watching me and Tim play for like 2 hours because Jess fell asleep. And so he had nothing to do. He was like, I was going to watch Lupo. And he said that we were killing it. And I was like, do you watch often? Because, I'll watch him for like 10 minutes at a time when I have free time and mess with him in chat for a little bit or whatever. And he'll do the same to me. He's like, yeah, I actually watch kind of consistently when I have time just to see what you're up to. But he thinks, and his chat has asked him about this, about the, using other people's voices as your alerts and stuff like that. And he said, not many people can pull it off, but the ones that I have in my stream right now are so good and they're balanced like audio levels so well that they kind of blend in with what's going on and they're not overwhelming. And so he's heard that audio clip from Mike so many times that he can't help but say it now.
Oh, he says it all the time when y'all are playing duos. All the time.
I know, man. It's so funny too. It's involuntary for him now. So.
Oh man, that's great. Well, let's jump in here and kick off the show. Learn a little bit more about you and your journey to becoming, look at me. I'm Dr. Lupo. I know how to snipe.
Oh, look at me.
You're listening to the Fortnite Community Podcast with your hosts, TwoLoud, TX, and Nolxero.
What up, and welcome to another episode of the Fortnite Community Podcast. I'm your host, TwoLoud TX, and here with me today, the one, the only, the one HP killer, Nolxero. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. You know, playing the Fortnites, having fun.
Yeah, playing paper, rock, scissors a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. Do you say paper, rock, scissors, or rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, I guess, technically. Yeah. Paper, rock, scissors? Yeah. I don't know. I guess paper, rock, scissors.
Lotex said paper, rock, scissors, and I was like, well, he just likes alphabetical order. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I think most people say rock, paper, scissors. So
I don't know. DrLupo, what do you say, Doc?
If you call it anything except rock, paper, scissors, get out of my face. No one has ever called it paper, rock, scissors. I want to be very honest with you. I've never heard that until this very second.
Hey,
I've heard it a couple times, and then I heard Lotex say it, and he was like very adamant about it being paper, rock, scissors. I was like, dude, you just like order. Yeah. That's all it is.
I guess it's rock, paper, scissors. I mean,
alphabetical order.
If you're doing it in order on your hand, it's definitely. I mean, it is the rock, in your hand first, so it's definitely rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. You guys let us know. What do you say? Don't forget, also, this show is brought to you by Glomtom, glomtom.com. You can use our code Fortnite for 5% off. Enjoy your Glomtom. And share FortniteCommunityPodcast.com with all your friends and family so they can hear all of our episodes. Even if they don't like Fortnite, I don't know, make them listen. They'll want to listen to this week. Trust me. They'll want to listen to this week. And then we have Topic Tuesdays on our Discord. So, guys, make sure you go jump in there. Shout out to Red for, really bumping up the Discord and everybody that has joined. We try our best to say hello to all of you as you join each week. So if we missed you, we are very sorry. But we do have a Topic Tuesdays. And this past week, we had talked about, what is coming to Tilted Towers and the comment and all the good, juicy stuff that Reddit has absorbed around this myth, I guess, per se, for right now. Until it happens, it's a myth. And so everybody jumped in there and gave their feedback. So, guys, definitely go and let us know what you guys think on our Topic Tuesdays. I think, for the most part, it got outvoted that Tilted Towers is going to be gone, and it's gone. It's done. Good riddance was what the community voted. So, guys, go jump in there. And then we do have Community Fridays where you can play with me and Nolxero and a lot of other people in the community on the Discord. So make sure you guys join that Discord. The link is in the show notes. And then we are caught up on all of our shows on YouTube. So if you would like to hear the Monster D-Face episode again, or you'd like to hear the guys from FortniteInsider.com, feel free to go over there, go to YouTube, and search Fortnite Community Podcast, and you can listen to all of our shows there. However, if you want to see some amazing content on YouTube, you're going to want to go to DrLupo.tv, and you can click on the link there and see all of his videos. Because we have him here with us today, and obviously, I mean, I couldn't do a big enough intro for him because we are humbled to have him, and it's an amazing thing to have him here. But as I will read from him, he is a father, husband, and gamer from the Midwest. Guys, if you don't know DrLupo, he has over 107,000 followers on Twitter, over 111 YouTube subscribers, over 10,000 Twitch subs, and that's just a number that came from a Twitch website, so I might be completely incorrect. But he is definitely one of the top voices in the community, and he's a professional player for Team Rogue. You may know his snipes, as we've mentioned before the show, but Mr. DrLupo, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Man, we are super excited to have you here. We have, as we were telling you a little bit about before the show, we have been following you since the Destiny days. So all of us involved in the Destiny community a little bit. And now you're over here in Fortnite just killing it.
Well, I appreciate you guys hitting me up for this. It's funny. You said that there's no intro big enough. Please, you're far too kind. It's I just another guy like everybody else, man.
Well, you're a guy that a lot of people like to watch play. And obviously, I think the biggest thing, and probably the thing that I admire a lot about you, is the positive influence that you've had on the community. I think you put out a tweet the other day that you were really happy to be a part of someone's day if you can make them smile. And I think you make a lot of people smile. So thank you for that, for sure, because I know it's always fun to get in there, especially when it's you and you and Ninja, just doing shenanigans on the internet that go viral, whether it's him killing you, which we'll talk about later on, or just fun stuff that you guys do all the time. So, why don't we start off? Maybe those people that are hiding under a rock, they don't know anything about you. Tell us a little about yourself, like about this awesome family you have, about your boys, everything else.
So, you mentioned my son, and my family. So I've been married for a while now. I try not to get into too many specifics, just just in case. But my wife Samantha is in chat all the time, MrsDrLupo. If you ever see her on there, she streams. She streamed more before as Fortnite's been picking up, because she kind of plays the manager role now.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if it were not for that, you would see a man on stream literally ripping his hair out with how much stuff is going on in the background. She is. When people say, my spouse is my rock, believe me, it is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my son, who's 2.5, was actually on stream yesterday before nap time. He's been sitting in my lap, and he knows that the big button on the keyboard makes the guy on the screen jump.
Yeah.
And imagine you're in the middle of a heal, right? And somebody's pushing you, and suddenly that heal is canceled because you're just so excited you want to get off the ground and fly in the air for a second.
Yeah.
That's what it's like playing with Charlie.
Yeah.
There's a number of times I've had to like crouch to counter his jumping to time it right so that I can get the heal off, and he's like, the guy's just standing up, why isn't he jumping? I'm like, I don't know, buddy, keep trying. I just keep crouching to beat it. But no, my family is everything, man. I mean, the entire reason I stream at this point, outside of, like you said, being able to make somebody else smile, and I will say this, that especially with the stuff that's been going on recently in my life, knowing that out there somebody is happy because I did something silly or died in a stupid way on stream, or whatever it happens to be, it definitely is. That's helped quite a bit.
Yeah,
and I'm very thankful that I have the opportunity to do that. So. Yeah, my family has been very supportive. In fact, so much so that back when I first decided to make the jump to full time, they were more confident in me than I was, man.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, right? Like I'm gonna go stream for a living, and it's not easy.
Yeah, it was terrifying. When I made the swap. It was actually my wife and I had talked about it for maybe 6 months before we finally decided that.
What were you doing at the time? Like, what was your full-time job currently?
I was a senior systems engineer for a company where I live. So I was 29, and I think that made me the youngest senior in a long time, if ever, at the company. But I was essentially doing system admin stuff like. Network management, data center management.
Yeah.
At that point, I was one of the lead programmers for an automation process to deploy virtual machines in our corporate environment. So we took like a 200-hour like multi handoff process that tons of people had touch points on, and turned it into a single person 30-minute process.
Wow.
So an end user would request a virtual machine through a UI, like a web page, an internal web page. They'd hit a button. They'd wait a half hour, and boom, they get an email that the machine was ready. And that was it. We automated the entire thing, which saved tons of time and money. And it was a ton of fun. I've always enjoyed the IT side of stuff.
Right.
And that's why I've always been like super computer savvy and help people with their machines. And I like building computers and all that. But
so you had a really successful job. Obviously, it wasn't like, hey, I got to find something to supply for my family. You were already there. You were already successful.
Was already there,
essentially.
Yep. Yeah, we were doing really well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had worked. We could call it a second job, and that was streaming. And a lot of it at the time was Destiny.
Right.
I streamed almost exclusively Destiny for maybe a year and a half. And let me tell you, playing the same game every day,
it's tough.
It can get monotonous, especially depending on the community that is built around the game. We're pretty lucky that a majority of Destiny, the viewers, the people that play the game, the people that are passionate about the game, we're very positive. But every game has its sore spots in the community, and that became I feel like that becomes more apparent as popularity decreases in a game,
right?
Because those people will stick around and they'll make sure that you know that they're sticking around by telling you and saying things and all. It comes with the territory of any game. So
yeah. So you had
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So you had the successful job. You started streaming Destiny. What made you start streaming Destiny though? Like why? How'd you get to that point?
So I only started streaming when Trials became a thing, and it was in an attempt to help build my friend Brian's channel. Because I was like, oh, maybe I can get some eyes on me too and send traffic your way. That was the entire goal. Because like you said, I had a channel, or I had a job that was fulfilling, and it wasn't a job isn't even the right word. I had a career.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll do this for fun. Maybe we'll see. And I could talk to some people and maybe make some friends, and that'll be that. And so I actually had the account DrLupo, I think since 2014, 2013, something like that. I made it long before Destiny so that I could stream Diablo 3, but not to anybody other than my brother. That was it. I was like, nobody's going to watch me. I'm not going to talk to chat or anything like that. But I sent my brother the link, and like when I would do something silly, I'd be like, hey, look at this stupid crap I'm doing. Come watch.
That's funny.
And he would pop up and laugh. I'd stream for like 20 minutes, and then I'd shut the stream off because that wasn't the goal.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I already have a channel. I guess I could just, I could just stream on there. Cool. And so I didn't change the name. I had no desire to change the name. So DrLupo, there it was. And eventually, Brian went off to college, but to my benefit, he took forever to choose somewhere to live. So he kind of got the runt of the litter, so to say, the school that he went to for college.
I gotcha.
And so he got an apartment that only had DSL to it. For those listening at home, DSL is like the Tinker Toys version of internet. It's
I've had that before.
It's like a souped up dial-up modem, which is not saying much.
Yeah.
It's like taking a Geo Metro and putting a V6 in
it. Wait a minute, it's not as good as cable?
It is. It's no. It's like oh man, it's so bad. So when he would try and stream, it looked like a slideshow of poorly edited, downscaled and upscaled JPEGs.
You're like, is this stop motion? How are you doing this?
Exactly. Excuse me, broadcaster. Next slide, please. I'm ready to see what happens. And so he would try and stream, and what would happen is if he'd be playing Destiny and streaming at the same time, he was lagging like crazy, teleporting all over the place, couldn't kill anybody, so he couldn't stream for about like 9 months. Like I said, to my luck, basically what we ended up doing was he wouldn't stream, he'd still play. I'd just say, okay, well, if you want to watch Ninja, I die a lot, so come watch me because I'll be the cameraman for him.
Right.
And it's because the goal was to like keep the community built up while he was away, and then when he would come back after school or like during breaks, stuff like that, then boom, I could send everybody back over. And over time, because of that, my channel started to grow and grow. And I remember having a conversation with my wife. We were in the bedroom before we were going to sleep, and it was about to be bedtime. And I said to her, what if I get partnered? What if I apply and I get partnered? And we both threw our heads back and had, the fake laugh. Yeah, right. and it actually took me 3 times to apply. I applied in like December and then January and then February of that year. And the third time I got accepted.
Wow.
I got approved. And I was like, holy crap, about to be partnered. And then at the time, this was a year and a month before I made the full-time switch. Again, we had, after I got the acceptance thing from Twitch, we looked at each other and said, what if one day I could do this full-time? Yeah, right. And we did it again. And then a year goes by. And at that point, I had built up 1,200 subs, something like that. Like there was growth and we were doing really well and people were supportive. We were doing charity stuff left and right. And I was trying to help as much as I could with growing the community and building a solid base. And the whole time staying true to who I was. And that was nerdy dad who plays video games.
Right.
And that was it. That was because that's who I was then. And I'd like to think that's still who I am now, because I don't look at this like I have any level of fame. Yeah, there's some crazy numbers, and even like yesterday, like I told you before we started recording, I had an insane day.
Right.
I don't know what it means, and I don't really want to know. I just want to keep playing video games and having fun, and hopefully
it means you're entertaining and you're still that nerdy dad that plays video games. That's what it means. I
certainly hope so. That's the goal.
No.
If it ever changes, if you're listening to this, please, if it ever changes, tag me on Twitter and say, brother, it's changed. Fix it. And I promise you I'll fix it. But until then, I think we're still on the right path, because I mean.
So did your wife know she was marrying a nerdy gamer? And also, is she a gamer? Because like my wife, I don't think she quite understood when we got married 11 years ago how nerdy I was when it comes to playing video games and all that. Because she thought, I played sports or whatever too as well. But she didn't get it. What about your wife? Did she get
it? Gentlemen, I'm going to be real with you. I hit the freaking jackpot when it comes to spouses. Okay, not to toot my own horn, but before she and I met, she dabbled in Counter-Strike.
All right.
When we were dating, oh god, yeah. Everybody tag Mrs. DrLupo and tell her that she is a saint on Twitter for this one. I was in a top 25 U.S. guild in World of Warcraft for a year and a half while we dated, and that included like 6 hours a night, 5 or 6 nights a week of hardcore don't look at me rating. Like, I'm busy right now doing my thing, okay? I need to smash this DPS. I played Mage a lot.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think Fire and Arcane were the hotness. And if it was Arcane, it was like Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast. 15 minutes, okay, the boss is dead. So it was very rhythmic, same tapping of the same key forever.
Right.
And I'm surprised she didn't kill me in my sleep. I'm telling you, man, she stuck with it. But yeah, she knew going into our relationship that video games was like, that was my hobby. That's what I did to blow off steam. That's what I did with my friends. That's what I did in my free time when I was alone. That was my thing. That was what I did all the time. So she and I actually, she was in the other half of a duplex that my best friend from when I was like 5 lived in. And I went over to watch, it was one of the Star Trek movies, the OG Star Trek movies.
I got you.
But with the riff tracks over the top of it. You ever heard of riff tracks?
Yeah.
It's like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but you play an audio track. They have you time it with like the Paramount, like the unicorn flying in, the unicorn Pegasus thing flying. And they're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, play. And so they make jokes over the top of the movie while you're watching it. You just play it from like a computer or whatever. And we were doing that, but she was the girl that was outside of the duplex beating the ever-loving shit out of her car because it wouldn't start. I was like, who's this girl with torn up jeans and a plaid button-up, kind of, she was very tomboyish, a button-up shirt on, like, it's super cute, redhead, and I might have given her the eyes a little bit, but I didn't have a chance to say hi out there. So what they did was like, hey, we know you're stressed. Go shower, go clean yourself up. She had a crappy day, and just come over and laugh at this stupid movie with us just to blow off some steam. She's like, okay. So she came over and watched. She didn't talk to me like at all the whole time. But of course, me being a complete loser, she would make a joke and I would laugh at it, even if I wasn't like part of the joke. Like, give me attention, please, pretty girl.
Yeah.
Right.
And so on her way out, when she's going back home, I made sure to reach out and stop her and say, oh, by the way, I'm Ben. She's like, oh, hi, I'm Samantha. I'm like, it's nice to meet you. And then she left. I found her ass on Facebook, followed her, messaged her, hey, how's it going? And we started talking that way. And I found out that she was leaving for a trip. She used to go to Yosemite National Park. She's a rock climber. She gets more badass by the second. Believe me, I'm batting way out of my league here. But she's going on this trip, and she had just gotten out of a relationship. But it was like, I don't remember the exact numbers. I know that she does. In fact, I see a message from her on Discord because I think I left the door open. So she's probably like, you're being ridiculous right now. But she's something like she's leaving in like 2 weeks. So my response comment was, well, that means I have 2 weeks to get you to like me. And it worked like a charm.
Awesome.
She was actually really pissed at me because her intent was to go on this trip and not think about boys. and all she could do was think about me.
Oh yeah. Put that Ben spell on her. That's what you did.
Exactly.
So I'm right there with you.
That's how she acts.
I batted out of my league as well. So people always tell me when they see pictures of my family, like, your wife is really pretty. What? Wow.
Feels good, man.
I'm like, yeah. What can I say? But yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome story to kind of, obviously bring your lives together. And then here you are, years later. How long have you guys been married now?
Oh, geez. We're creeping up on 8 years soon.
And what I think is so awesome about your story, too, is that, like, she encouraged you through this whole process of your dream, right? Like, in something that you want to do, like, yeah, sure. And, like, I'm sure, like you said, you guys laughed. But I bet you anything, if I was a fly on the wall, I bet she probably said a few times, I bet you could do this. Right?
Yeah. I know that she did. Thinking about it now, look back, she has this level of confidence in me that I don't think any human being could have in any other human being. I can't imagine it,
Right.
Yeah, it's obviously absolutely out there. But when I think about it, I'm like, she probably thought maybe I could do it. But she's also watched me play and heard me, she heard me talk to people about just all this stuff. She knows how passionate I am about gaming in general. Right. It's been a thing. It's awesome. Always been a thing. We've, I think she's known before. She knew before I knew that this could work. So
well, and it did work, obviously, and that's why we're here. Obviously, you growing up, you have the successful job. You then all of a sudden start getting partnered by almost. What's funny? You're like one of the biggest streamers by like not even intending to do it. It's just by accident. You're just like, oh crap, I'm a streamer by accident. I mean, in a way, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the funniest parts about this whole thing, because as a broadcaster, a content creator, people will often ask you, "Hey, how do I grow my channel?" And I always reference a tweet that I saw from Summit maybe a year or two ago, and he said, "You have to have there's 3 things that make a good content creator. 1, skill. If you're really, really scary good," and I'll use Shroud as an example. I've seen a number of clips from him playing PUBG, even recently, where he will flick like 90 degrees and one tap a dude in the head that I didn't even know existed so fast that I watched the clip and I'm like, bro, are you serious? Right. And skill will always get you attention. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you're super engaging with your chat if you're trying to live stream specifically. So if people are coming to your chat, and I try and take this to heart as much as I can, and with growth it's become more difficult, but I try my ass off at this, and that's interacting with people that pop into chat. Somebody says, "Yo, Lupo, what kind of mouse are you using?" Even though I've answered the question 5 million times, there's a command in chat, right, and there's info below the channel, I will still answer that question as often as I can, because I want people to know that I'm watching.
Yeah.
And that's also why when somebody says, "Bro, does he even watch the chat?" Oh my gosh. When I see him in chat, I will always look at it. I'll look right at the camera and be like, "Don't worry, I see you." Because it's my job to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are some broadcasters that don't talk to their chat at all. And if I wanted that, I'd go to YouTube, man. I just watch a YouTube video because it's not live, it's pre-recorded.
Well, I think it also speaks to how you build your community and actually how your community reacts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want them to know that I know that they're part of this experience with me. That's the whole reason that they're there, is because they want to be part of the experience, and I want them to know that they're part of it.
Right.
So I take pride in at least trying my butt off to see everything that I can in chat when it's said. So that's number 2 is interaction. The rate at which you interact, your engagement with the audience. And number 3 is your entertainment level. And this can mean positive and negative things. So you could be super funny. You could be making jokes left and right. You could be a comedian. You could be making music live while you're playing. You could be playing a game with a Wiimote and a nunchuck that's not intended to be played with a Wiimote and a nunchuck. I've done that. There was a guy, everybody's going to remember his name. I won't remember his name. I'm very sorry for this. But there's a guy that played PUBG with an actual frying pan as his controller. He also played Widowmaker with a French baguette in Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that guy.
That dude mid-game took a bite out of the bread. It was the funniest thing I think I'd ever seen. He's just like in the middle of a fight and just reaches down and starts eating his controller. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, that's super entertaining.
Yeah.
You also can be the guy that rages, and people will watch you because you rage. It's like a car accident.
Right.
I'm very
That's
sorry.
Tyler, one thing.
I'm not going to name any names, my friend, but anybody that freaks out in a huge, glorious manner. Dr. Disrespect has done it before. His reaction to some things is hilarious because you just laugh. You're like, dude, he's not actually mad, but maybe he is, but he's not really. But it's part of the experience, and people want to see that. Or maybe you win a game and you just start dancing like an idiot, Ninja, on stream afterwards. No one really understands it, but they're like, bro, he's doing that silly dance, the pum pum or whatever it's called. If he ever listens to this, he's gonna text me and be like, "You are such a little shit." But people will watch for that, right? Because it's entertaining,
right?
It's the entertainment. So there's the 3 factors, but there's a 4th thing that you can't have, and you just have to. It just happens or it doesn't, and it's luck.
Yeah.
And every time I bring it up in stream, people are like, "Yo, that's a stupid thing. It doesn't just." Yeah, right. No, really. Like you said before, I went on this little, this explanation of streaming and all that. Like the thing you said was, you didn't even mean to become a broadcaster; it just happened.
Right.
That's because I got lucky so many times, and I continue to get lucky so many times that I don't talk about it on stream. I don't. People ask how I got to where I am, and I'll say I got lucky, and I'll point it out. I was trying to think about it too much because it could go away at any time. So I started out with a gimmick. I played a console game with a mouse and keyboard. And it was super controversial, but that's part of thing number 3, the entertainment value. People either came in and wanted to tell me that I was horrible and I was a bad human being and all this terrible stuff because I played a console game with a mouse and keyboard and I should be banned and all that. Or they were like, bro, this is amazing and you're scary good at this, and holy cow, I got a ton of attention for a company that I wasn't affiliated with. Still, Zim, the guys that made the device that I use all the time, Zim 4. I actually reached out to them and was like, "Hey, do you guys do partnerships?" And like, "Nope, sorry." Okay, cool. I'll keep. I'm not going to change anything what I'm doing. Just that's fine. Just keep playing. And that's how I was able to do the 2 players, one.
Oh man,
2 Guardians, 1 player thing. Like I played PlayStation and Xbox at the same time. That's how I did the Wiimote thing, all those shenanigans from Destiny that I do dearly miss. That's how I was able to do all that stuff. But I had a gimmick, right? That's how I started, was with a gimmick. And then eventually people were like, oh, he's actually not a bastard. And maybe the community that he's putting together is semi-decent. Cool, maybe we'll hang out. And so that started to come along with it. But then the luck kicked in. I got featured on Crucible Radio. Shout out to all those guys, Swain, Birds.
Awesome guys.
Bones. The 3 of them gave me an opportunity to get exposure. I consider myself super lucky that they asked me. I then got lucky because Ramblin', my friend, posted a video on Reddit about getting 9 kills in a single round right after the last word had been nerfed. It was on Bannerfall, the first week of year 2 trials. He and I randomly were like, hey, let's play together, because he was looking for somebody to play with on Reddit. And I was like, I don't know. My partner is coincidentally off at school and can't play. Haha, let's play. So he pulled that insane round out and he posted it on Twitter. But everybody was like, yo, Ram, gameplay is top notch. But can we take a second and talk about the dude doing the call-outs?
Yeah, I remember that.
Shit.
Yeah.
You remember that? That post went insane. And I had this big flood of people that were like, yo, they were right. He does sound like he works for NASA. Houston, we have a problem. My teammate's down. And so I got really lucky because people wanted to hear me talk through it was the jankiest headset. It was like a Logitech wireless one. I sat across from the room, cross-legged in front of my love seat at a coffee table to play. I shit you not. It was the worst setup. And because I was so far away, the quality of the mic was terrible, but it garnered attention somehow. Yeah. So I got really lucky. And those kind of things kept happening. And then I hit probably the luckiest event in my gaming career. I had switched to PUBG. I gotten tired of getting stuck across the map by warlocks with 12 fusion nades in year 3 trials.
We know that struggle.
And I decided to give Battlegrounds a shot. I had been asked if I was interested in playing it a couple times before that. I played it like once on stream, and then I switched back to Destiny. But I finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna get into Battlegrounds. We're gonna see what this is all about. So I was playing it, and if you're a PUBG player out there, I'm gonna say some positions that you'll probably know. But Pachinki, smack dab, just southwest center of the map. The north side of Pachinki, there's that little garage building, the 3-story with the 2 balconies. All right, the tools. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're big fans of Pachinki.
Okay, so I watched a dude in a blue shirt, light blue shirt, and white pants, a level 2 helmet on, run a crouch walk up a fence right there, go inside the building, and go up onto the 2nd floor balcony and face east away from me. I was on the west side of the building. I was like, okay, he's not even looking at me. Little did I know that this person had turned their camera around and was staring right at me, but their body was facing away in an attempt to bait me, as it worked perfectly out into the open because I was hiding behind a tree. This person was also Ninja, arguably one of the best at the time PUBG players ever. He's scary good at BRs. He was like a #1 solo player in H1Z1, just like crazy good at these kind of games. And here I am, little greenhorn, walking around outside saying, oh, look, there's a guy up there. He doesn't know I'm here. I bet I can step out from behind this tree and for some reason cook a nade and chuck it at him. We'll see what happens. So I step out, and he immediately, like, it almost looked aimbot-ish how fast he stood up and 180'd as soon as I walked out behind the tree. I was like, oh God, I'm going to die. So I'm cooking the nade. I let it fly, and I turn to the right and just start running, because why would I decide to just try and shoot at him in an attempt? Like, why would I put up a fight? That seems ridiculous. I was a bad player at the time. And he's just plugging me. On his screen, apparently, he hit me like 6 times. On my screen, I got hit twice. Don't ask me why, but for some reason it lined up. But the nade sails through the air perfectly. It's right at his face and air bursts point blank right on him and kills him. And I saw, it pops up like DrLupo killed Ninja's hyper with a frag grenade. And I see him like, oh my God, I just killed Ninja. And I was like, what? His chat, I went from like 300 viewers to like 2,000 in half a second. His chat all floods over and they're like, bro, you just killed Ninja. Oh my God. And it's like, it's nuts. His chat is nuts. His face, the clip is still out there. The Ninja command in my chat will get you the clip. It's probably my most watched clip that will ever be made on my channel. But his face is like stunned to silence. Oh, and this audio clip is also an alert. It's my like 12-month plus alert. He says, Dr. fucking Lupo, you do not get any luckier than that. And then he yells, you do not get any luckier than that shit. And it was so good. Dude, it was so good. My immediate reaction, though, because I thought to myself, I just killed Ninja. Someone's going to clip this. I need to say something. So I'm like, yo, Ninja, let me know if you want to do duos. Just hit me up. It was joking because I was like, there's no way he's going to want to. And somebody brings a clip back from his channel, and they're like, he said he wants to wait 2 days before he replies. Like if you like meet a new person, like a bar, and you get their number or whatever, you got to wait 2 days. You got to, whatever that, I don't know about dating shit now, but that apparently is a thing. And so 2 days later, he hits me up. I was like, dude, let's do duos. And so I was like, absolutely, let's play. And that's how I met Ninja. Wow. Is I killed him in a game with a Kobe of a grenade. It was, I'll never throw a better grenade in my life. And I've thrown some good ones Fortnite, but that one changed things because I started a friendship with somebody who is now one of my best friends by far. It gave me the opportunity to come along with him on this crazy journey that he's had, dude. His Fortnite experience has been mind-boggling.
It's been awesome to watch.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
250,000 subscribers. Are you freaking kidding me? You don't even, if you look at the trend of broadcast, you're like, okay, who's at the top of Twitch? Who's the top 10 channels? You don't even put him in the list. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Because of the crazy, he streams for 100,000 people every time he goes live.
Yeah.
And
the crazy thing is, like, not too long ago, he wouldn't have been like up real high on that list.
Oh, I know. In PUBG, he was getting like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 viewers. And and it started to go up. He was starting to hit like 10 to 15, and because Battlegrounds popularity kept growing and growing, and he made the jump over to Fortnite at like the perfect time, because it's for him. It was a combination of probably really good foresight and a big stroke of luck that he's been able to be scary good at the game. Now, I will say this before somebody out there is like, yeah, but he did play with Drake. He's also, everybody makes mistakes. He's made some mistakes. But as a whole, Ninja as a person, the whole of him, his entirety, not just little blemishes here and there and shining spots here and there. He's a good person. He's done a lot for charity. I've seen him on stream be like, he'll get like a tip. It says, "Bro, I'm watching you in class right now." And he'll be like, "I'm refunding that tip, and please pay attention in class. Stop watching me."
I've heard him say stuff like that. Yeah,
he's a smart person.
Well, how he presented himself when he was on what was that, CNBC, right?
CNBC. Yeah, he was on Squawk Box.
Yeah, when he was on there, how he presented it, I said to, I think, Nolxero and a lot of other people that we play games with, like, I don't think I would have picked anybody else at that time to represent our gaming community as a whole, right? To get on and say, like, there's positive influence here, and how well he presented himself. It was really remarkable. Like, you can tell, number one, that he's a very humble person by that, and number two, that he doesn't take what he has for granted. And
no,
I think that was really
not
cool.
in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, and I've watched a lot of big streamers for other games like League and stuff, but as far as like the top dog for a particular game on Twitch, he's definitely like the most positive. Like he seems like a great guy. Where you definitely had other games, and not mentioning any names, but you've had other streamers that be the head of other games, and they're like real douchey, or they're real negative towards, and then they wonder why the community's like really bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's doing his best, and like I said, no one is going to be perfect.
Of course not.
But he's doing a good job.
Well,
he's doing a good job. I'm very proud of him.
So you've had this stream of luck. You've met a lot of people, obviously. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think going through it, whether it be that a lot of people from the Desi community. You're friends with Gathalion and Broman, and those are great guys as well. Got to meet them at Guardian Con last year. So you've met all these awesome people, and you've had, like you said, that bit of luck. But what brought you to Fortnite? Like, what made you make that jump to Fortnite?
My friend Tim, aka Darkness429. So we were playing PUBG, and Tim and I were talking about Fortnite, and how they had a BR mode now, and we had I had watched a little bit of it on other channels, but I hadn't played it yet. But I made a bet with Tim. I said, "Listen, I've watched this game for a little bit. I guarantee you play this, you will enjoy it." And he's like, "No way." And I bet you $50. If you play this, you will enjoy it. He's like, "Fine." So he played it and he enjoyed it, but I hadn't played yet. And so he was like, "All right, now you have to try it." I'm like, no, I don't want to try this Bloom. It's stupid. I was one of those guys. At first, this was way before patches and accuracy updates and stuff like that. So eventually they patched it again. They had adjust AR Bloom down, so they made it better, more accurate, we'll say. And eventually I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. So I get into a game. I was playing like a solo, I think, or maybe duos with Tim. And I'm playing, and I die or whatever, and I play. No, the first game I think I got third. My very first game of solos, I got third. But I think it was like the second or third game, I get a rocket launcher for the first time. I'm like, okay, cool. I've never seen one of these. Let's see what it's all about. And I'm fighting somebody, and I pull it out, and I rip one, and I hit the guy in the face, and he dies. And in the feed it says, DrLupo exploded. What's his name? Whatever the dude's name. And I kid you not, I look at the word, and I just start laughing, like hysterically.
Yeah.
And I think I was in Discord with Tim, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Tim, it says exploded. It doesn't even say exploded or blew up. It says exploded." And I couldn't help but read the word in Russian accent. I had no idea how to. You see where it says explode,
right?
How are you supposed to read word if you know what they say? No, not the Amerikansky way of saying word. It is Russian splod. And I don't know why. But it stuck. And so me and Tim started making this stupid Russian voice. I'm really sorry to anybody out there that that is offended by it. I don't mean it that way. I know somebody's gonna be like, bro, don't worry about it.
We have a big following in Russia, so
well,
the hate mail.
You say that, but there are a number of viewers like regulars.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Codemaker, and there's a couple others that have responded to me. ANS text another one that are like, I'm Russian, but I think that is hilarious. Like they think it's the funniest thing. Like your accent is so bad, that's why it's good. Like that's the intent, is that it's not supposed to be serious. So it's just one of those jokes. But if for some reason it stuck, and as soon as I blew that guy up, dude, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I saw the word exploded, and they just was like Epic just started laughing. I'm sure they're like, "Ha, got another one," and that was it, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say no to the game anymore. Now I'm like, oh, there's a new skin in the shop that I don't own. Well, let's just buy another $100 of V-Bucks real quick because that saves the most money.
Yeah, you get $35 for free that way, right?
This has been the most expensive free game I've ever played.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm like, I thought this. People keep saying it's free to play. I'm like, this game has not been free to me at all. Just so we're clear, I paid way.
Guys, I tried to make it free, and my wallet's empty now. Hell.
Yeah, exactly. What's been your favorite part of this journey in Fortnite?
Shenanigans.
Yeah,
the shenanigans, dude. All the silly stuff. Yeah, it's one thing to win a game, but let me tell you. It is entirely a different thing to shoot a guy into a ravine next to a bridge when he's dressed up as a bush with an impulse nade and you stand above him and then you yell, "Goal!" after he dies.
Yeah.
Or to trap somebody outside of the zone with walls and you see them frantically trying to get around your walls and you just keep blocking them and then they die to the zone. You win a game like that. Or do the build fights. Oh, the build fights might be some of the most exciting gameplay because it brings together the two things that make Fortnite. One, engaging somebody with guns ablazing. Believe me, like the Gatling guns and rockets and grenades and ARs and people trying to do like jump shots and no scopes from snipes, all that stuff. The same time trying to build and like know the positioning of the person you're building against. And you're like right on top of each other, but you both might not realize it. And somebody's like builds up too high and then you drop down underneath and you knock the thing out and they fall and die, or you like both get up like. Oh man, when you and another dude are jumping and building, when there's one layer of fresh wall between you, like you can look each other in the eyes and make eye contact through the brick wall as the bricks are flying up onto it, but you can't shoot at each other. And you're trying to like get that one step up so you can like jump shotgun over the top. Everybody that's watching that's been in one of those, or everybody that's listening has been in one of those fights, and like, I know exactly what Lupo is talking about. That it's nuts. That feeling is nuts. I love those things about Fortnite because it gets my blood pumping more than most other games have.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Definitely some unique things. I mean, even the fact of like how they took rocket riding to become rocket riding.
Oh my gosh, you know the whole story behind that too?
Yeah.
So it didn't become a thing until the pumpkins, and then when they switched it back off of the pumpkin skin, it wasn't working on the original skin. They had to break the original skin to get it to work.
Well, you were one of the ones behind that whole debacle when the Fortnitemares was out. I remember seeing multiple streams of you guys shooting each other on pumpkins, and like literally on mountains. I think there's a video clip that I remember that was just north of Pleasant that you were on, and you guys were like on that hill that's just northeast of Pleasant, and trying to rocket ride. I believe it was up the hill. And it was absolutely entertaining. And I remember at that point we hadn't done it, and I came home and I was like, Nolxero, we got a rocket ride. Like we have to figure this out.
I think Sacriel was the first person that I saw do the rocket ride. Somebody else might have been first, but I saw him do it first. There's a clip got really popular of him flying over a team, and he jumps off the rocket that he's riding and rockets down and kills the last guy and wins.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do this. And those kind of things. So the fact that Sacriel or whoever, I might be wrong. I'll admit that. Whoever made it popular first. And I saw Cypher do the first Tower of Terror, is what I've been calling it, where you make the metal tower with traps inside. You stick the launch pad at the bottom and open up all the walls. I saw him do that. I've seen so many silly things from all these different people. And then I'm like, immediately after I see a clip, I just think I need to do that right now. Not for anything other than I saw something cool and I want to do it. And you don't get that in other games. Like even, and no hate to Destiny, but even Destiny didn't have that 100% where you're like, oh, dude, this dude just did something crazy. I'm going to go try and do that.
Right.
It would be like, oh, I just saw True Vanguard snipe 50 guys in the face. No one went, I'm just going to go try and do that real quick.
Yeah, right. Be like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Fortnite has this, hold on a sec. Please hold my beer 1 second while I try and do this silly thing. I'm going to ride this shopping cart off the roof of my house kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Fortnite has that in spades.
I think it's kind of funny that you say that because I was telling Nolxero earlier, we were watching Rocket League. I get super intrigued by Rocket League and the high level play that's there. And I was telling him, and it refers to Fortnite, is the entry level is really low. So like anybody can try to play Rocket League, and just like anybody can try to play Fortnite, and you can go play the game and you can still have a good time. And then at the very high level, right, the high level cap is so high, and the ability to do all these other things in the game are just like keep adding on, right? They keep coming out with more and more stuff, and they keep making it. I feel like Epic has taken in the community and been like, yeah, why not? We put out a pumpkin rocket launcher to start with. Now they have like the egg launcher. They have the snowball launcher. We've had all these different things. They add the jump pads in. Like they are feeding the community with these ways to like just do crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. They've got their head on straight for sure.
So, and speak of that, I mean, one thing that happened to you lately was, Ninja killed you with an impulse nade.
Oh.
Which is probably one of his favorite things to get in the game was impulse nades.
It was a 2v1. We were on top of a hill, and I watched the clip from his point of view like the next day. He was plotting that kill for an easy 20 seconds, waiting for me to be in the right spot. But he drops impulse nade, kicks me off the mountain, and like mid me sentence, me talking, he just yells, "Bye, Ben!" and it goes off, and I go flying before I even hit the ground. And he didn't know this. The impulse goes off, and I just disconnected my headset and walked away. I didn't even see myself hit the ground. Like I was like, "Nope, I'm out." And chat was dying. Apparently, he did like 483 damage to me with it. Or something.
It was crazy. Yeah.
And so a couple games later, where it's like maybe 8 left, something like that, and I'm like, "And then I got a launch pad. Let's go." And he's like, "Okay." And he's running up, and he's building the ramp up, and he gets to the top where he builds a platform. He's like, "All right, put it down." I'm like, "Okay." And I put an impulse nade right behind him, and it shoots him off the ramp. I mean, he fell and died.
Oh, I didn't get to see the revenge, man. You need to like put those together on a quick YouTube video. The revenge clip,
It goes further because the next day I'm playing with him and Tim the Tatman in squads, and it's down to like us versus the last team, and we're building platforms, pushing these guys. Tim's already in there, I think, and he's like, "Ben, I'm gonna rocket ride you in," because he had a guided rocket. I'm like, "Okay, cool." So get in front of him. He shoots. I jump. I'm on it. It immediately takes an up in the air left turn, and I get to the point. It took me a second to realize what he was doing, which was part of the problem. I got to the point where I was high enough that if I dropped off, I was going to die from fall damage, and I just go, "Ninja," and Tim starts laughing. Because as soon as I said it like that, he knew what was happening, even though he couldn't see it. Ninja took me up out of the zone so high in the air that if I jumped off, I was gonna die. And I ticked out to storm damage and died. He flew me out of the freaking zone. So right now the score is 1-2. He is in the lead. But let me tell you, and this is a promise, Tyler, if you hear this, you won't see it coming. It will happen when you least expect it. But my friend, you are going down and you will regret this. Just saying.
Oh, I love it. So I told you before we get into quick little topics, I want to get your 2 cents on a couple things that happened in the game this week. But before we do that, I think I told you I had an idea for your Boogie Down contest. Do you already have an idea? Are you going to enter in by any means? I mean,
I have been asked that a couple of times. Let me tell you, as far as dance moves go, I'm the whitest person on the planet. I was in show choir in high school too, and I'm still the whitest person on the planet. I cannot dance at all, but I'm more than willing to hear you out if you have a good suggestion.
I do. I have a good suggestion, and this actually, it's going to involve someone that probably is much like my sons, because I have a 3-year-old and I have a 5-year-old and I have boys. By the way, I got 3 boys. I got a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old. But one thing I've learned about little boys is they love to dance.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to ask you to maybe coerce a thing with your son to throw down a little boogie.
Okay.
And you submit that as your boogie down video.
If I can get him to drop some fire moves, man, I will record it. You better believe it's going to be up there. You better believe it's going to be up there.
Everybody loves to see kids dance, and why not have DrLupo's son boogieing down on Fortnite?
That's true. Okay. I'll communicate with him the idea. I'll probably have to talk to my wife. She can get him to dance way easier.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna have to involve your wife getting him to do the moves. So.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying to talk my kids into dance. I'm like, hey, why don't y'all make up a dance, and then I'm gonna record it, and then maybe you'll get into Fortnite.
Dude, so I have this. I'll share it. It probably, I don't know. I doubt anybody's gonna steal this. But my son last night, I turned on. I saw the tweet with Marshmallow and Ninja, by the way, and so I turn on Marshmallow, and my 5-year-old and 3-year-old come in here and they start dancing. And I don't know where my 5-year-old got this move from, but he got this like DJ move where he puts one hand on the ear and then he acts like he's on like a DJ table.
Like a turntable?
Yeah. And I'm like, where does a 5-year-old get this move from? And
I know, man.
I mean, it astounded me, but he had a couple little moves that I might have to get him to do them again, so we can put those up as our submission. Because I'm like you. Ben, I can't dance. I can barely walk, bro. Let alone dance. So
the coordination is just not there, right?
Yeah, not for me at all. And I've played drums my whole life. I've played drums a long time, and so I have pretty good independence as far as coordination goes. But when it comes to like dance moves, nah, I'm out completely. 100.
I look like Elaine Bennis dancing from Seinfeld. Like that's me dancing.
Hey, well, her little excited dance thing made it in as an emote, so you never know, man. You still stand a chance.
That's true.
That's true.
Oh, man. Well, let's jump over. I want to ask you a couple quick things about some of the updates this week, and we'll get out of here. All right, so...
It was a perfect audio clip. Wow, I'm impressed.
So this week we had two main things that came around, and that was the vending machines dropped, and we got the new shooting model. And a lot of controversy around the new shooting model. So let's start with the vending machines real quick. And tell us, like, Nolxero, you said that you think it could break the loot table in a way. We've had some time doing it. What is your first take, Nolxero, on, like, how do you think these have affected the loot table? What's your overall thought of the vending machines?
I mean, I think overall it still breaks the loot table because the vending machines are there. There's definitely a possibility of more scars, more heavy, shotguns, more scoped ARs, whatever people want if they're finding the right vending machines. But I think at the end of the day, after talking to everybody that we play with and stuff, like the risk of I got to farm, I've got to have enough materials, I'm going to spend those materials, and then I need to actually have more materials so I can build and battle. I think it overall is pretty even. Feels good.
What about you, Lupo? What do you think about the vending machines? How have they come into play for you?
I'm actually going to agree. Initially I didn't really have too many concerns, but watching the way that they played out, I don't think it hasn't done anything in a negative sense. It's given people that avoid fights maybe an opportunity to get some gear they might not initially see, which, hear me out, is actually a good thing because the game is about survival. It's not about slaying out. People forget that in Battle Royale, the end game is to win is to be the last person alive. And if that means you sit on the edge of the map and you just smash trees, go find a vending machine with a purple scar in it and buy it for 500 wood or 400 wood, then so be it.
Yeah.
You're still playing the game. It's not necessarily about, okay, well, if you're in the game, you have to go and push people blindly and use impulse nades and fly at them and try and shotgun and use rockets and all this stuff. Like, that's not the goal of the game. Is to survive and win. And you win by not going down.
Right.
So it's given an opportunity, I think, to people that play a little more secure. He's giving them a chance to get gear that they wouldn't otherwise get because they're not going into the super hot loot spots that have, more spawn locations with a higher chance to get a really good weapon.
Yeah.
It also has done something in squads and duos that I didn't really expect. I mean, I should have if I thought about it for a little bit. Maybe it would have been more apparent. But people are now coming together with the resources to get their teammates weapons that they wouldn't otherwise have. Let's say I have a SCAR and you've got a gray AR, but there's a SCAR vending machine right there. Let's smash these trees super quick, get enough wood, and you can buy that SCAR, and then we'll both have a SCAR. So I see it as an increase in cooperation, and I don't think there's a downside to them.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought at first, like, who cares? Like, who cares about these vending machines? Like, no one's gonna care. But I think overall, like, unless you find a loot llama, like, you have to dedicate time to get what you want out of the vending machine.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's a good thing.
I think it's just another tool, like you said. How I've kind of taken it is, it's another way for someone else to play. It's another thing to do as a team too. It's kind of funny when you look around. Like, I do stop, or I did a couple times this past week, stop, and we broke down some, houses and trees and different things to grab some extra jump pads because we knew those were going to be viable later in our game. Because although we do like to push, having those jump pads helps us do what we want to do later on in the game as well. So, we landed at Pleasant, and the first thing we were like, hey, look, this vending machine has jump pads. So let's get a bunch of jump pads. I think we had 6 jump pads, and we used them, and it was a blast. So for things like that, even people, I think, like you said, there's going to be people that are going to farm and they're going to stay on the edge and they're going to play to survive. And that's one of the great things is this game accommodates so many different play styles, and I think the vending machines open up different ways for you to engage and play in the game, and it's not OP per se, that, you can just get scars for everybody with 100 wood. You know what I mean? There is there's time investment.
There's a price to pay in terms of time that really mitigates, I think, the insane bonus you might get. Like you said, unless you find Carl the llama out there, smash him up and get his goodies, and then just go buy one. That's different.
Can they please name the llamas Carl now? Can they put that?
Last night, as I was flying into Tilted, the hill to the northeast had a llama on it, and I'm flying in mid-sentence to stream, and I cut the camera down as soon as I see it, and I go, llama! and I'm talking about, don't worry, Carl, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna save you before they beat you up and get your insides. I'm on my way.
That's good.
So last night we named that one was Carl. If they're all Carl, maybe, but that llama for sure was Carl.
All right. So while we're on loot llamas, I have to bring this up. Have you seen the Bright Bomber bag?
I think so. Hold on, let me look it up.
It looks like a backpack with like the unicorn and rainbow and stuff on it.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about the supposed ways to get it?
All
right. So the best theory that I've heard is, well, there's two really, that either this person was an epic player, which is entirely possible, that was testing in-game items. But the big thing is a lot of people are saying that if you find all 3 loot llamas in one match, that you get the Bright Bomber bag.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. I don't feel like that's actually going to work. But the other night, we were playing, and I had found 2 loot llamas, and I'm like, dude, I'll go Rambo for the last loot llama. I'm positioning poorly. I'm running everywhere. Don't find it. So Reason and Myrick, and I'm calling y'all out, they find 2 loot llamas at the beginning of the game, right next to each other, okay?
Oh my gosh.
They both pick one up each. And they were like, well, we did it because we didn't think we'd find the third one. And they find the third one. And I'm like, y'all could have put this whole thing to bed right now if you would just have let the one person open all 3 loot llamas. why wouldn't you do that? Like, you could have literally put it to bed. We could have figured it out and been like, yes, that's true. No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm curious because the item there's been a lot of screenshots of that item of the bomber bag. So maybe you can find out for us this week, Ben. Like, does surely as many games as you play or as Ninja plays, one of you guys got to find 3 loot llamas.
It's going to be easiest in squads for sure.
Yeah,
because you can spread out and look. You know, you just send people to 4 different spots and just basically be eyes on the ground for llamas. And as soon as you find them, so long as the circle's good enough, you just have somebody run around and grab all 3. But you have to get lucky.
Yeah,
that's a lot. It's a lot of luck.
Dude, I found a YouTube video the other day, and these guys were playing, and they landed right over there by in between Lucky, what we call the honey hole.
Yeah. Yonder Yard is what CDN I think refers to it as. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that little spot north of Flush Factory.
Oh yeah,
industrial spot.
Yep.
So they land in the river right by there, and they were like laughing, talking about, look, there was literally all 3 llamas were right there in a triangle, like not real close to each other, but they were a little bit spread out, and all 3 were right there. And these guys are all laughing about it, and they're like, look, all 3 loot llamas are here. And then the video, each one of the people goes and opens one. I'm like, you idiots! Why didn't y'all try?
Jeez.
Oh, man,
it's like crazy. It was right there for you to prove or disprove this theory.
So,
because I haven't seen any definitive proof, like someone say, look, I was in this game, I found all 3 loot llamas, show that they found them, and then have the bag. So I don't have any definitive proof to say, okay, that's legit.
Well, I promise you that if I ever get a chance to do that, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, let us know.
But sounds good.
That's a lot of luck to find them all in the same spot.
That's true.
So,
well, the other thing that we got is the new shooting model, and I want to kind of get your overall thoughts of the change. I know there was a lot of controversy the first day it came out because I think even Tyler said it like he's like they didn't give us any warning. They just dropped this, right, and it just came out. But now that we've had some time with it and the initial shock is over, Lupo, how do you feel about this change? How, like, you know, the overall new shooting model, and I'll ask you this in accordance with it, like, why didn't they just do another LTM and get community response first before they put out this new model and change the game completely?
I am a little confused as to why they just threw it out there without kind of a heads up. But there's really only one situation where I see it as maybe 2. I can think of 2 things that frustrate me slightly with it. Overall, I think it's fine. I think it's given me and other players that are better than me the ability to outshoot people based on something other than just the luck of the bloom. Because if you play your cards right, you can tap fire somebody in the head from a pretty good distance,
right,
and take them out without getting just like sprayed down, outshot without you know what I mean. Like there's a sense of randomness to an equal level engagement. 2 players not moving, both crouching, both ADSing at each other with like gray ARs. If they're both shooting at the same time at each other, it's up to luck to see who wins, right? Because whoever gets the RNG and their shots hit, they win. The 2 problems I have are in Pleasant Park yesterday. I landed, got a gold deagle. I was at the 2-tone building on the west side, shooting at a guy running right to left in front of the red brick building at the very northwest corner. I was out in front in the street, crouched, not moving, ADS'd, and I hit a guy with a headshot for 40 damage. Something like that. I was kind of baffled because before, this thing used to hit for 196 to the head.
That happened to me.
And I just thought to myself, why did I even pick this gun up? Up close, a shotgun is going to outplay it unless you get super lucky. At a distance, I'd rather have an AR, something that can fire faster and hit for basically the same amount of damage. It was disappointing. It felt like it took a lot of the punch out of some of the guns at range that used to, like before, you got really lucky and you hit a really long range shot with a deagle, and you could kill somebody like across the map, and everybody lost their mind because you got lucky.
Right.
But it was luck that didn't feel bad. Yeah, the person that got shot by that across the map probably felt really bad. But you know what I mean? It was like, okay, I rolled the dice and I had a 0.1% chance of hitting this, and I hit it. 1,000 shots to get to that. Cool, but I hit that one shot that I needed, and I got that elimination.
Sorry, I just want to interject this right here since you were talking about Pleasant Park and the Deagle specifically. I was on the green building looking at modern. I shoot a guy twice with the Deagle. One was a headshot, one was a body shot. And I don't remember the exact damage numbers, but it wasn't enough to take him down. Like he took off away from that fight. And I'm like, exactly what you said. Like, why did I pick this up? Like, this is not even worth it.
Feels really bad now. So
yeah, I like the silenced pistols a lot. And I used to use those a lot, and especially like at not AR range, not like medium to long range, but like close to medium range. Like I would use the silence a lot, but the fall off damage now just seems like I shot somebody like 6 times the other day when I was up on a structure. And I'm like, what the heck? Like they're down the ground. I'm like 4 stories up, maybe. I'm like, usually this would just down the person. I mean, I don't know if they're going to make any changes. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, maybe they'll revert some things. I don't know if they'll revert the shooting model, but I think they'll probably do what we're talking about, which is going in, change some of the guns to not have as much fall off damage, or negate some of the, essentially negate a lot of the fall off damage on some of these weapons to make them viable still. And, only time will tell. So we'll see what happens.
What was your number 2?
The other thing that kind of frustrates me is now people will build up more so in 1x1s, sit up top, and they'll peek shoot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They'll peek shoot even more than they used to, because before you had bloom to kind of mitigate it. But with the way that a shooter works, there's delay between what you see, like if you and I are in opposite towers, or I'm somewhere and you're in a tower. You can stand up and quickly click and then crouch. And on my screen, you almost don't see the stand up and re-crouch. It's so fast. It can be so fast, depending on latency, that it looks like the bullet comes out of the wood.
Yep.
You also have the ability for if you scoot up real slow and you're at the right angle, you're not even exposing any of yourself. Not even your head will show. Sometimes it seems like, and you can
sniped on exactly what you're talking about right now. Last night.
And so, because of that, with the new shooting model and the 100% accuracy, first shot accuracy being a thing, people have taken to building up in 1x1s in solos and just peek shooting constantly, and it's really difficult. You can build against it, you can mitigate that, you can be a little more aggressive and push up. If you have like an egg launcher right now, grenade launcher, rockets or hand grenades, whatever you have, if you have any way to take out the tower, you can kind of do that and bring balance back to the fight. But if they're in a good position and you're kind of low, you don't have really a way to beat that. It can be very difficult. But like I said, for me, I don't think it's something that's like, it hasn't brought imbalance to the game to me, but it has made solo late game more stagnant. And I don't really like that. I like being able to be aggressive and not worry about just getting tap fired down by somebody that is sitting up in a tower the whole time. I like the gameplay to be, and this probably has something to do with the broadcasting side of things. I like action, because people that watch my channel, at least, they don't expect me to sit in a 1x1 in the top of a tower and wait.
Yeah, no one's gonna watch that.
No offense to anybody that does.
No, I got you. I mean, so. Here. Did you like Blitz? I want to ask you that real quick before we move on, because you said you loved. Did you like how they handled Blitz and solos at the end?
I thought Blitz was fun. I liked it.
I liked how they seemed to push you, especially towards the end of the game, right? Because the circle was continually closing once it got to a certain level, and you weren't having these. And that's because we play squads and duos and then squads mostly. I don't play a whole lot of solos, but when Blitz was out, I actually got I think 9 out of my 10 games are in Blitz in solos, and because I loved playing solos, I felt like pushing and not having this time of like someone hiding, when the circle's still pretty big, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, well there's one person, he's probably hiding in a bush, so now I got to run around and check all these bushes, or like you said, sit in a 1x1 now, and they're just waiting for you to come around to them. Because it seemed to push people. I just wanted to ask what you thought about Blitz.
It definitely made the game more aggressive. It was difficult to just sit out and do nothing. Kind of wait for other people to play because the zone was constantly making you be a little more buddy with people. You know, you had to get closer in order to stay ahead of the zone. So I liked that part of it.
Cool. Well, let's get out of here. I want to get one.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I told you this before. So, do you have rock paper scissors? The emote.
The emote. I think I buy pretty much all the stuff that's in there. I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so it came to my attention last night. I was having this conversation with the people I was playing with, a couple of regulars that I play with, and then some listeners. But it came to my attention that paper is picked predominantly on that emote. Almost like a 60% chance that you're going to get paper.
You feel like it's really that much? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of data coming in from what people are saying, that they're constantly getting paper, and we'd watch them throw the emote. Rock comes at about a 30%. And so like scissors is at a 10%. So making paper the most powerful part of that emote, because if you get rock, you're going to lose almost guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm asking because you got a big presence in the community. Do you think we should get a paper nerf?
Listen, Epic devs are doing a lot right. But that means that there's an opportunity for an increased chance for them to make mistakes. Did they make a mistake with paper? Is it really 60%? Or is this fake news?
It could be fake news.
Only Epic devs will know. So if there are any Epic developers listening, all I'm saying is if it's not balanced, maybe you should consider balancing it, okay?
Yeah. My sampling pool wasn't huge. It was like 5 people.
Yeah.
But with 5 people, it was pretty much the same results. So I just extrapolated that to millions of people and was like, okay, cool.
Makes quick math is quick math for a reason. Makes sense. I'm on board.
Keeping it simple. Well, I want to get a tip and trick from you before we get out of here. So let's jump over to this week's tips and tricks.
You ask, do we have tips? Of course. And do we have tricks? Oh, yes, we do. So listen up.
All right, so Dr. Lupo, I asked you about maybe doing a tip for building. Like, can you give us a tip for engaging a fight or maybe even during a gunfight? What you think would be a great thing for people to take away and go, I'm going to try that. I'm going to learn that when it comes to building in Fortnite.
I'd like to ask you a question after your answer that kind of follows up to this.
Okay. So one of the things that I started doing to improve my 1v1 engagements is we'll call it matching. Let's say you and another player are at an even level and they start to push. The second that they start pushing, and the chances are what they're going to do is ramp and then wall. The reason they do that is to like stop you from just shooting the ramp out immediately until they're too high above you, and then you can see the ramp, right? Yeah, like kind of the wall will block it when you're straight on, but then once they're above you, you can start to see the ramp again. And you start shooting at that point, they're just going to drop down and shotgun you. Your immediate reaction, unless you're in a situation where you're healing, you're low health, if you're high enough that you feel confident, you got to start building up immediately. You're in Fortnite with the way that the hitboxes are, especially with shotguns. People have experienced this countless times. I know I have. You'll shotgun somebody, you think, I hit that guy square in the head, and it only did 90 or 95 white damage. It could have been a one hit, but instead there was nothing hit the head, and the shoulder took it all. But just the way that the hitboxes are built. If you had a little bit of elevation, you'd got a headshot and that guy would have gone down. So if you can, Fortnite is very much about matching or being above an elevation. And so the second somebody starts building up, you need to start getting good, practice this and respond, match their build a ramp up, keep doing the same thing that they're doing to the point where eventually you'll see these situations. You'll be ahead of them. You'll be the guy that they're trying to match. You'll notice a lot of people will die. Especially on stream, a lot of broadcasters will always try and be above their targets. That's why build fights happen. Right. That's, people are always trying to build up and get quicker at getting above and all this crazy stuff they do. Practice that. Start matching people when they're pushing you in the 1v1s when they're coming right at you. Start building that ramp up. You get your ramp up at the same time or ahead of them. You're gonna have the advantage every single time.
I gotcha. Awesome.
Okay. So the follow up to that. And I see this a lot on console. I'm not sure about PC, but I see a lot of people struggle with this on console. And So when you're ramping and they're ramping, and y'all's ramps intersect, and they've actually ramped over your head, and you can't ramp anymore, what would you do in that situation? What's your suggestion to do in that situation?
You kind of have two options. You can either go around it, and then by that I mean, so like they'll intersect, and suddenly there's a ramp in your face, and you can't.
Right, and they're above your head now.
Jump, build a platform, build another platform to the left or right, whichever is going to be exposed. Step out and jump shotgun them, because they might still be building up. They might not realize that you stopped. That kind of thing. The other option is turn around, go back down the ramp, and put a ceiling above your, put a ceiling above your head, and you can keep building that out a step or two, and then build the floor out from underneath you. So you get to the ramp, the top of the ramp, and immediately build a ceiling. Turn around, build a floor and a ceiling going the opposite direction of the ramp, and kind of build we'll call it a pathway out with a ceiling and a floor, and then start ramping up that way. So you're kind of saying, okay, you can be above me, but I'm going to go this way and build up a second platform and build another tower next to it, and then you try and match them again. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're covering yourself. The ceiling piece is extremely important, because if you don't build that, you just build a floor walkway out. You do two things. One, you're exposed from above. So if they stop and they see that you're building out, they're just going to turn and plug you. The other is if somebody's below you and you do that, if there's a third person, fourth person, whatever, they're just going to shoot out your walkway and you're going to fall. And then you're in an even worse spot as before. So building a different direction with cover and then trying to build up again, if they're staying up top and you want to keep the fight going up above you, that's going to be the best way to do it.
Cool. So it sounds like
it's probably more difficult on console. Although at first you're going to use a lot of the same platform anyways. So you're just looking up and down really quick to build the floor and the ceiling as you're going out. But I think you can pull it off. I think you could do it either way. Yeah,
I mean, console's gotten pretty crazy. Like it's gotten, I don't know, I want to say it's PC level, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
There's some scary builders, man.
Yeah. And ever since,
I'm gonna shout out Low Tech right there.
Yeah.
Low Tech, you're an amazing builder.
Yeah, building is crazy, and people are getting better and better and better at it. As obviously the game is out longer, but on console, we're really starting to see a big jump on it. So it's getting entertaining to fight against other people.
Hey, more power to you if you can pull off some of the stuff that other people do on PC with a mouse and keyboard. The rate at which people whip around and build one by ones, like Myth.
Oh,
Myth is terrifying. Yeah. To see build one by one. He's like, oh, look, there's a 12-story tower out of nowhere. When did that happen?
Yeah. I on console, what's happening is everybody is increasing their sensitivities as high as they can get them, and they're walking up. I know, everybody in our community, you jump in our Discord, people are asking, what sensitivity level are you on today? Trying to get to that 9-10 level sensitivity on controller, because everybody's figured out, hey, the higher my sensitivity is, the quicker I can build. And it's just getting used to that, the gunplay with it at that point. So, well, Dr. Lupo, thank you so much for being here, man. We really appreciate it.
Of course,
it is a humbling experience for us, and also as a fan of yours, it's been a great treat to have you here and tell us some stories and share your time with us.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. It does mean a lot that you reached out and consider me at least kind of cool enough to be on your show.
Oh, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why don't you tell everybody, in case they don't know, where they can find you during the week?
So if you want to see it live, twitch.tv/DrLupo. If you want to watch highlights and full gameplay, stuff like that that's been clipped, YouTube, the YouTube channel is DrLupo TV. Or on Twitter, my @ is just DrLupo on Twitch.
And you can actually just go to drlupo.tv and find all your content.
You can.
Which is awesome.
Everything's right there.
So, well, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Shoot us a review on iTunes. Leave us some comments on Podbean. You can always send your complaint and emails to fortnitepodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what other content creators you guys want to see on the show. You can follow us on Twitter @Fortnite Podcast. Myself, TwoLoud TX, and David @Nolxero NOLXERO. Make sure you follow the one and only Dr. Lupo on Twitch. And that is his Twitter account, everybody. It's Dr. Lupo on Twitch. So make sure you follow him there. And as always, dance out those kills and boast in those victory royales.